Hello there, and then welcome to a brand new lesson. This is How Beyond Numbers, where we learn maths the easy way. In this lesson, we are looking at an application of percentages. Specifically, we are looking at percentage increase and then percentage decrease. Without much ado, let's quickly look into it. Now, talking of the formulas we need to understand before we can solve questions on them, we'll try our best to look at both together so that we can take note of the differences that come as well with it. So let's start with the percentage increase. Talking of percentage increase, you know what it means for something to increase. So it measures how much the value has grown. You see, so there has been an increase. There's a growing of value from a smaller value to a bigger value. It measures how much the value has grown relative to the original amount. Relative to the what? Original amount. So for you to know that something has grown, then you have to compare it to how it was previously. On the other hand, for percentage decrease, it measures how much a value has dropped, also relative to the original amount. You see, they are all relative to the original amount, but then for increase, it is a growing. But then for decrease, then there has been a drop in value. See, so how do we solve these two? Irrespective of what you want to do, that is either for increase or decrease, you need to find the increase or find the decrease. If it is increase, since the new value will be greater than the original value, then there should be what? A subtraction. So you take the original value from the new value. So let's say the original value was 100. So far as there has been an increase, then let's say the new value can be 110. So if you want the increase, then it's going to be what? 110, which is the new value, minus your original value, which is what? 100, giving you 10. 10 now is the increase. You see. On the other hand, if you want the decrease, as we have said, there has actually been a drop. So in that case, the original value would even be greater than the new value. So if, for instance, you initially bought an item worth of 100 cedis. Now, if you are saying there has been a drop, then maybe you would want to resell it at 90 cedis. You see, so there has been a drop. So if you want the decrease, then it's going to be the original value, which is 100 in this case. So 100 minus the new value. In this case, our new value is the 90. So minus 90, also giving us our 10. You see, so with the increase and decrease, after you find either the increase or the decrease, we now apply our formula to get the percentage increase or the percentage decrease. Now, if you look at it, you realize that it is actually the same formula. The amount you have been able to solve for over here, you see, all over the original value. Then since you are talking of percentage times your 100, better still, you can say if you are talking of decrease, then the amount you have calculated as the decrease over the original value, then you multiply it by 100. You see, so the only different thing is you solving for your increase and then the decrease. For increase, it is new value minus original value. For decrease, it is original value minus new value. If you know what we call absolute value, then with respect to absolute values, you can even say the formulas are the same. Because even if you change this, at the end of the day, you need your answer here to be an absolute value. That is why we maintain these formulas over here. So without much ado, let's look at some questions that will require us to apply these formulas. Now, with respect to all that we've done, let's look at these, or let's look at this question. It says a loaf of bread was 10 cedis last month. This month it is 12 cedis. Find the percentage increase. Find the percentage what? Increase. Now, even if you are not asked to find the percentage increase, you should know it is an increase because the final value we have is 12, that is the new value we have is 12, which is greater than the what? Original value. So what do we need to do? We know what percentage increases. From our formulas, we said it is the amount of increase over the original value times 100. Hence, the first thing we need to solve for is the amount of increase. So you start by saying the amount of increase is equal to, well, before that, you can write out your parameters. And then with your parameters written, you say amount of increase will then be equal to what? The price this month minus the price last month, which is 12 minus 10. And 12 minus 10 gives us what? A 2. That is all we need. So since we have our amount of increase, it simply means that our percentage increase will then be equal to the amount of increase, which is 2, over the original. What is the price? The initial price. That was 10. So 2 over 10, then times your 100. You see, so this now is a fraction problem, which we have done over and over. So to simplify, we know 10 divides itself once, and then it divides 100 10 times. Hence, we have a 2 times 10, which gives us what? 20%. See? So it simply means there has been a 20% increase. There has been a what? 20% increase. Let's look at one other question that will have to do with the percentage decrease. So in this next question, it says a pair of shoes originally cost 200 cedis. During a sale, the price dropped to 150 cedis. What is the percentage decrease? Now, comparing the value, you can even infer that there was a decrease or there was a drop in. So what is our percentage decrease? Just as we did for the increase, we need to first of all find the amount of what? Decrease. So in this case, our amount of decrease is going to be what? The original cost, which is 200, minus this new price, which is 150. Solving that gives us a 50. You see, with the amount of decrease now, we can now solve our percentage decrease. And we know our percentage decrease will then be the amount of decrease, which in this case is our 50, over the original cost, which is 200, then times your 100%. This has now become a fraction problem. So how do we simplify it? We know we can first of all cancel out our zeros. So this is cancelled. And then 2 divides itself once and also divides 20. It divides 50 25 times. Evaluating further, we have our 25 times our 1. 25 times 1 gives us a 25, then over the 1, which still remains 25%. So we can conclude by saying, therefore, the percentage decrease is what? 25%. And that is it. Basically, this is all that we need to know under percentage increase and decrease. If there's any other question relating to this, it will be a matter of changing the subject. Changing the subject here, I mean, you'll be given the percentage increase, you'll be given the amount increase, and then you'll be asked to look for the original value, any of the parameters involved. With that, I'll give you some questions so you try on your own to test your understanding. So here you have them 5 questions just to test your understanding on what we've done so far. Let's have beyond numbers where we learn maths the easy way. If there's any issue of concern, you can always let me know in the comment section. If this is your first time on this channel as well, and you do think this would be of help to you, you can choose to subscribe if you so do wish, so that anytime I release a video, you'll be notified as well. Stay blessed, and then see you in our next lesson. Bye for now.